All right, so let's go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Have your props close by. I guess Betty is choosing not to join us tonight, even though I brought, well, it's fine. You know how she goes. You know how she'll come back when it gets closer to Shavasana time, right? Betty, stop licking the blanket for crying out loud. Jesus. All right, friends. So find that comfortable seat, come into easy pose, crossing the shins, maybe allowing the feet to come closer underneath the knees if possible. And even right here, you're already getting that square shape, kind of like that stacked double pigeon posture. So you might be feeling it already in the hips. But if that doesn't work for you, just let the knees come further apart from each other. You can just cross at the ankles instead of the shins. As you can see, I'm trying to work my feet underneath my knees. All right, and then just bring your shoulders over your hips. Again, thank you so much for being here for this practice. I love this practice. We do this one every season change, and it always just happens to fall right around the 20th or the 21st. So if you're joining me again for this practice, welcome back. And each time we come back to this practice, why I feel like it is so powerful and so important to do it, because it is just a kind of way to acknowledge the season change, the different changes and things that are happening in each of our lives. Maybe we're going through a transition for work or for home, for school, or just life in general. Maybe life is looking and feeling a little bit different than before. So it's nice to pause and reflect, especially after this last season we had here of winter here in the States, right? Northern Hemisphere. If you're joining from elsewhere, it may not be the end of your winter. It may be the start of it. Just notice your breath. We're not changing anything yet. Maybe just bring some awareness to where your hands are, noticing if they're palms down or if they're palms up. Notice the temperature of your skin. How are you running? Are you running hot? Are you running cold? Or are you just right? And then noticing your facial features, your jaw, your eyes, your throat. Can you soften through your throat? Maybe just take that last little gulp and swallow any last bits of saliva that might be in your mouth. And now go ahead and bring some awareness to your breath. Let's begin to deepen that breath. Allowing that breath to be a little fuller as we breathe a little bit deeper. Maybe you notice the belly expand with your breath. And notice as you exhale, pulling the belly in towards your spine. Can you maintain that length that you created with your inhale? And once you have found that comfortable rhythm, go ahead and kind of robot your arms out. Bring your palms so they're facing each other. And then just begin to open and close the palms. Just pumping them, open, close, open, close. And you're more than welcome to keep your eyes closed here. Or maybe you half open them. So the idea here is we are looking to feel the sensation of what an energy center might feel like in the body. So we will be focusing on the 7 main energy centers known as the chakras, going from the tailbone all the way up the spine through the sacral region, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and then finally your crown. So we will have a posture for each one of those. All right, so maybe your hands are starting to get a little fatigued. Take the arms out in front of you and then open the palms and then begin to bring the palms together. I know when I start to do this, I can feel this energy, like this ball of energy in between my palms. And then as the palms get closer together, you might able to be like to feel it, like putting magnets together, like that resistance. You might feel a little resistance in between your palms. So think of that as like the energy center, like this invisible cushion around that part. And very gently, just allow your hands to rest and relax gently on top of your knees. And before we begin with any postures, take a moment here, noticing anything that's going on in your life, anything going on in your body. How are you feeling physically? What's happening internally? Are there any like really strong feelings, sensations, emotions that you're holding on to right now? And just notice those and see how that may correspond with different energy centers in the body, which may give you a clue on what needs to shift. Where do we need to become a little bit more balanced? To stay here for about 3 to 4 more cycles of breath, just taking an inventory of how you have been feeling lately. How have you been showing up? Maybe if you are in that same category like me of winter blues, right? Maybe you fall into that sad seasonal affective disorder. I know for me, it's felt like night and day. I feel so much better. It's like, oh my gosh, like who was I 2 months ago? That's not who I am. Like, whew, yay, spring. Okay. So friends, we were going to start. So this is kind of workshopy the way I structure this practice. I talk a little bit. If you're new to this practice, I talk a little bit, but I want to leave you some time just to be in the shape as well. So I'm going to kind of preload you. I might talk a lot in the beginning of this practice, but by the time we kind of move down or move up the chakras, I might start to get a little bit quieter. So that's just kind of how it's moving. All right. So the first shape we are taking is dangling pose. This is for the root chakra. Now, if you want to have some props, you may bring a bolster, or maybe you bring some blocks, or maybe you use both. I'm going to show you the setup with blocks, and then I'll build it up. So you're going to come to a standing forward fold. So bring those feet underneath your hips. I like to have my feet about hip distance apart. If you want to use blocks, maybe bring the blocks underneath the shoulders and you can press your hands, just rest your hands gently there. Bend your knees as much as you need here, whatever feels comfortable in the hamstrings, and which allows the pelvis rotation to kind of come forward. And then let the head go. So again, hands can be resting on the blocks, or maybe it's elbows, or maybe you add a bolster on top of the blocks, making a little Stonehenge structure, and then you can rest the elbows there too. So the props are all about supporting you. This is like literally bringing the floor up to you to meet you where you are, but maybe you don't need them. So I'm gonna do those without it. We're gonna be here for 2 minutes. If you need to come out before the 2 minutes is up, that's totally fine. Honor your body, honor where you are today. And like I said, I'm just gonna talk a little bit while we're in the shape. So this is the base of our spine that we're working on. Muladhara, grounding. This is considered a masculine energy center. And the color is red. So think of a red circular disc at the base of your spine. And if this is an overactive chakra, you might be a little bossy. These are just some characteristics. Bossy, domineering, maybe the ego is a little big, greedy or violent, or maybe even cunning. If it's an underactive root chakra, we might be feeling unloved, sexually inadequate, frustrated, fearful, shy, or unsure of ourselves. So this is like our base, our foundation. So if we are feeling balanced, we're feeling grounded. We feel like we belong in this world. Trusting, independent, alive, and poised. And the mantra is I am. I am. And just notice how maybe over the time, the last 2 minutes, your head is just feeling like it's a little bit closer to the earth. Maybe the legs are getting a little bit straighter with each exhale. All right, my friends. That was 2 minutes. Your choice. You can slowly roll up, and then you can come down into a squat, and then come down to your sitting bones, because we're going to roll right into our next shape, which is butterfly. So that is working on the next chakra, our sacral chakra. I'm just going to pop over. I see a couple comments that came through. Oh, hello, Miss Heather. How are you? And welcome. Oh, Lisa Nanda, thank you. Yeah, for Andiel. I know. It's good to see Andiel. I haven't seen Andiel back on the practice in a minute. So welcome, everybody. I see a few more people have popped on. Again, we are doing our yin chakra balancing practice. This is kind of like a set already sequence that we're doing tonight. But if there's anything I need to know about your practice, please feel free to pop it into the chat, and I'll come over and take a peek so I can give you some modifications and choices if you need some. All right. So if you've had any recent surgeries or injuries, prenatal or postnatal, that kind of stuff, or just general, body stuff. Okay, so like I said, going into the sacral chakra. So moving up, if the first one, if the base was red, we're following the rainbow. So Roy G. Biv, red, orange. So the color is orange. It's the sacral area. So think of your pelvis, think of your sex organs, pelvis, sacrum, hips, reproductive organs. Good. Feminine. So if the first one, the base, is masculine, moving up would be a feminine energy center. The emotions, it's our creativity center. So think about that. And this is why I love the human body so much. Our creative center, our emotions, right? The energy center of creation, right? The sex organs, the reproductive organs. So it makes sense that it's in this region. Okay. All right. So couple of choices if we are using props. You can use blocks. I think we did butterfly last week. You can use blocks, and you can bring the blocks underneath the thighs if that helps, just for support if you don't want to put too much pressure, or if it just is uncomfortable in the hip flexors to not have something support you. That's one choice. Remember, the blocks have 3 heights, so choose the height that works best for you. If you want something a little softer, then maybe you take a bolster and place the bolster underneath the legs. And then you can drape yourself forward over the legs. Really nice, very supportive. One final one with a prop would be another one of my favorites, is the blanket roll. And we used the blanket roll last week for sure. It felt so good in our Shavasana. I loved that one with the blanket roll across the yoga mat. You can take this over the tops of the feet, tuck the tails underneath. So again, it's supporting, and it's really soft and supportive, not going to cut into your skin or dig into your leg, kind of like how the block would, even though I love my blocks. Hi, Julie. Exactly. I love that advice. Mwah. She said, Andiel, even if you don't move and visualize the poses is doing yoga. It's awesome you are here. Exactly. And same thing, we're going to be doing a breathing activity in a little while. And same idea. If for some reason physically you can't do the breathing activity, picture yourself doing it in your head. It's just as good. You're tricking your mind. Okay. That's the thing about our thoughts, is that our body cannot differentiate between like real, it's happening in real time, or if it's a memory. So if you visualize yourself doing it, it's just as good as physically doing it. Make sense? Yeah, the mind is very powerful, my friends. That's why this practice is so powerful when we're able to quiet and really just stop all the mental chatter. And that's why we do this practice, to quiet the mental chatter. Yogas chitas vritis narodaha, right? All right, friends, soles of the feet come together. When you're ready, we're going to take ourselves forward into the fold. We're going to be here for about 4 minutes. So enjoy. I will talk a little bit and then I'll be quiet. So if this is an overactive chakra, we might be needing power, manipulative, or craving. So desire, the want, clinging, right? These are some of our yogic concepts that we deal with. Okay, and if it's underactive, we might be feeling a little shy, guilty, afraid to interact, lost, overly concerned about what others think. And if we are balanced in our sacral chakra, we might be friendly, passionate, sexually fulfilled. We might feel like we're in a good mood, playful, naturally flirty. The mantra is I feel, right? It's our energy center of emotion. So I feel. Just gently allow the body to move with gravity. Let gravity do the work here. All you need to do is just breathe and feel, notice. Where are you feeling sensation? In the outsides of the legs. If the legs are pulled in more, you might be feeling more sensation on the inseam. Stay for 2 more cycles of breath in your forward fold. And then slowly on your next inhale, walk your hands back, rise up. So you might have felt something in the outside of your hips, the low back, different parts of your spine. To come out, carefully take your hands on the outsides of your knees, bring your knees together. Feel free to take some movement, maybe windshield wipers, or maybe just straightening your legs, giving them a little shake. How are we feeling? So far, so good, everyone? Again, such a great shape. And I love being able to hold that pose for 3 to 4 minutes. It just really resets, right? That going inward, quieting the mind, just kind of breathing. Ah, we love it. Yes. Okay. Beautiful, friends. Okay. Next, just moving up, moving up. So red, orange, yellow, sacral, excuse me, not sacral, solar plexus. Like I mentioned before, it's getting a little active over here lately. The sirens have been going a lot more. I don't know if it's like the weather, right? And like people, it's getting warmer here in Vegas, so people are starting to like lose their cool. I don't know. All right, solar plexus, yellow. This would be considered a masculine energy center. We are going to take a supine spinal twist. So on our back, and I'm going to give you choices, both knees together or single leg. Those are the choices for our twist tonight. So if you're using a prop, you want to bring it over so it's close to you to support you in your twist. I think I shall take a blanket, but you can use a bolster or you can use a block. Your choice. And I guess it has a lot more to do with the height and what is necessary. Sissy, yeah, right? Butterfly is your favorite. Me too. It's one of my favorites too. Yeah, and Lisa Nada. Julie, very true. Yep, totally. Mind is so powerful, my friends. All right, so when you're ready, come to your back. Let's hug the knees in. Give them a little rock side to side. Ugh, that feels really lovely on the low back, especially if you felt something in your butterfly. And then maybe you take the knees in a circle in one direction. Just slow everything down. And if you took knee circles in one direction, don't forget to go the opposite direction. All right. All right, my yogi friends, take your prop. We're going to twist over to the right first. So that's the direction I'm going to have my blanket, my support. So straighten your left leg if you're taking a single leg twist, excuse me, right leg, single leg twist. Bend that left knee into your chest and then slowly exhale, bring that left knee across your body over to the right. 2 minutes on this side. And then we'll do 2 minutes on the other side. So use that support to allow the shoulder to come down to the earth. We want both shoulders grounded. We don't need one floating up. That's what the support is for, so that the knee can rest and allow the hips to open up a little bit more. And I'll talk a little bit about this chakra. So the Manipura, personal power, considered a masculine energy center. This is our willpower. It's located between the navel and the heart. The color is yellow. And if it's overactive, we might be feeling and acting judgmental, stubborn, critical, or maybe even bullying somebody or a group of people. If we're underactive, low self-esteem, right? Because we don't have that willpower. We don't have that like, I trust myself. Apathetic, procrastinating, taken advantage of, not knowing what to do, kind of lost maybe. If you're feeling balanced in your solar plexus, in your willpower, you will have respect for yourself and for others. You'll feel confident, outgoing. You'll be able to problem solve. You'll feel calm, and you will show integrity. And the mantra is, I do. It's your actions, right? And they all work together. All of your chakras work together, much like all of your body systems. They all work together. All right, friends, that was 2 minutes on the first side. Slowly roll to your back. Hug those knees back into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side, Or maybe you want to rock and roll up along your spine. And then when you're ready, settle back down onto your back. Extend your left leg long. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. And then exhale, slowly bring that right knee across your body to the left. Both shoulders planted. 2 minutes on this side. And again, give yourself enough support so the right shoulder can be grounded on the floor as well. And then just notice from side to side. You might notice, okay, this side feels a little tighter, or I can't bring my knee over as much or close to the floor as much as the other side. Again, just information for you as you practice. This is not a flaw, and it does not mean you're not good at yin yoga. This is just observations. You're taking in the information about your body so you are informed. So you know what you need to work on. That's it. It's the same thing as if you go to the gym and you're doing bilateral movements and you're noticing, this side isn't as strong. Same idea. Then you know that's where you need to work on your strength. It's like self-diagnosing, you guys. That's it. Self-diagnostics. That's all we're doing in yin. And then you notice you come back, you practice more, you feel stronger, or it gets easier. Or maybe you can do different things now that you couldn't before. Because each day we show up on our mat is a little different. Our mind is different, our body's different, our hormones are different. Everything's a little different each time. Good. All right, slowly roll to your back. Exhale, hug the knees in. Good. Maybe lift your nose towards your knees, give them a little squeeze. And then your choice how you want to come up. Maybe you roll over to one side, or maybe you rock up and down a few times to come up. All right. I'm going to pop over. I see a couple of comments that came through. Hey friends, how we doing? And yeah, if you'd like some Reiki, feel free to send me a direct message later. Oh, that's so sweet. Beautiful. Love it. When I would teach yin in person, when I was still in New Hampshire, I would always ask people at the end, during Shavasana, I would come over and I would do like hands-on Reiki for them. So I love incorporating Reiki with yin. It's just makes it even more special and even more healing than it already is, right? Okay, friends, so we're going to come down to the belly for our heart, for Sphinx and Seal. So if you would like to make this a little bit more challenging, you can place a blanket or maybe even a bolster underneath the elbows to give a little bit more back bend into the shape. If you want less back bend, walk the elbows out, bring the heart closer to the floor. Okay, so sometimes that means when I do that, that means my forearms aren't parallel. Maybe they're kind of more like in this triangle shape. So I want you to find the position that feels right for you. Maybe the elbows are slightly in front of the shoulders. Maybe they're underneath completely. And then you can decide where you want your feet. If the low back feels okay, then maybe bring the feet together. But if you need a little bit more space, take the feet wide. Take as much space as you want on that yoga mat with your feet. All right, so here we go. We're going to stay here for 4 minutes total. 3 minutes in Sphinx. And then the option to come up into seal for that final minute, just kind of taking it a little bit deeper into the back bend. Again, totally optional. And then as we're here, you can choose. Drop your chin in towards your chest. Gets a nice cervical opening in the back of your neck, really nice. Or maybe you want to add the throat, even though we're heading to the throat next after this, right? You can drop your head back if you want to do that. Or maybe the head just stays kind of neutral. Again, finding that breath. A nice breath where you can breathe in fully. Exhale completely. And then soften. Soften through your jaw, your face, your forehead, your eyebrows, your ears, your throat. Let everything be soft. Try not to hold any tension. So the heart center, the color is green. So a green energy center. If we are feeling overactive in the heart chakra, we might be feeling entitlement or jealousy, blaming others, or giving too much. An underactive heart chakra might feel unloved, self-pity, fear of rejection, neediness, clinginess, or uncertainty. And if we are feeling balanced, then we are loved, loving, empathetic, and you have that contagiously good vibe. And our mantra is, I love. I love. In a few moments, you have the choice to come up into your seal, or you can stay right here in Sphinx. So if you want to take it deeper, just begin to press into your hands, lift the elbows away from the floor, but still try to soften and relax into the glutes. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. So we're adding a little bit more compression to the low back, to the spine, but now we're opening up in the front body, so you're feeling the abdominal stretch too. And just breathe. Put a little bend in your elbows. Good, and then soften into the glutes as much as you can. Really feel all that soft tissue getting a stretch. Good. All right, my friends, if you've taken your posture, whichever one, Sphinx or Seal, lower yourself down all the way. Make a little pillow with the back of your hands. Rest your forehead. Take a few recovery breaths. Just breathe into your low back, especially if you're feeling a little tight there after that long hold. Slowly exhale, release, soften. All right. Begin to bend your knees. Gently let the feet sway side to side. Just give your body a little counter pose after that. Back bend. It might feel a little sensitive. Remember, the areas that we're stressing are target areas. We want them to feel like that warm, dull, aching kind of sensation, warmth, like a general warmth feeling around. If there's sharp shooting pain, we definitely want to stop and come out. Okay, so getting into the throat chakra, just moving right up. Green was the last energy color, right, for our heart. Now then it's blue for the throat. Getting into supported fish, you will need either 2 blankets or a bolster and 2 blocks. So the blocks are for the feet, the bolster is for the torso. Your shoulder and your head will come off of that, and we'll be here for about 4 minutes. So I'm going to set my blocks up of where I think my feet will be when I come into this shape. And then I will sit on my bolster, scooch it forward a little bit. There's always a little bit of adjustment into our shapes, especially if we're using some props. All right, friends, when you're ready, come down to your supported fish. Yeah, so the crown of your head will be on the floor. If you have a ponytail, you might have to move it a little bit. And then you want to open up through the throat. So the shoulders are hanging off of your bolster. Your feet are supported on blocks. And this helps with the low back. So if you were to take your feet off the blocks and just let your feet rest on the floor, you might feel something in your low back. If you do, put the feet on the blocks. It'll alleviate any kind of crunchiness you might feel. So like I said, we're going to be here for about 4 minutes. So get nice and comfy into it. Let those shoulders roll off, the bolster, palms face up towards the sky. And allow those eyes to close. And as you're here, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the throat chakra. So if the heart was feminine, the throat is masculine. It's Vishuddha, communication, expression. The color is blue. If it is an overactive throat chakra, we might be speaking too much. People might get bored when we're talking, right? That glazed over look. We might be seen as criticizing or stubborn. If it's underactive, maybe we are not able to express ourselves. We are afraid to speak in public, and we're not able to express the creative side of ourselves. We might be seen as timid or dependent. If we're balanced, we can express ourselves, we speak our truth, and we're creative. Ooh, creative. That reminds me of the sacral chakra. Interesting. They may work together. I don't know. I mean, they all work together. I know for me, it was my solar plexus and my throat chakra. So when those two are working together, I feel so good. Like when they are in sync, my personal power, my willpower, and my communication is on point. Like my masculine energy is on point there. Balanced, right? Okay. And then the mantra would be I speak. I speak. So again, each chakra that I give you, little characteristics, descriptors, those are just kind of points to just kind of be aware of, like, oh, okay, I'm kind of been feeling a little bit of that, a little imbalance. Just kind of notice what kinds of things are happening. Why are you feeling that way, right? This is a good time to practice that self-reflection. Svadhyaya, right? One of our branches on our yoga tree. It's time to just reflect, go inward, self-exploration. Get curious about your behavior, the patterns in your behavior. What patterns would you like to change and break? What kinds of behaviors would you like to add into your life? What we call in education, we call that replacement behavior. What are you taking out so you can put something in? Same thing could be done with health coaching, right? It's all about behavior. What are we taking out that we can put in? What are we making space for? What are the things that we can lose and get rid of? All right, my friends, that was 4 minutes in our fish. Carefully bend one knee at a time. Pause there for a moment. Notice what's happening in your spine. You might begin to feel something. A couple of choices to come out. You're more than welcome to roll over to one side, or you can take your hands to use as support to kind of come up the same way you came down. So whatever is right for you. I like to just roll off and just kind of scooch my bolster out of the way and then roll onto my back. And if you want, you can hug those knees in. We will be finding our way to our hands and knees as we are going to come into a child's pose for our third eye chakra shape. Now, again, if you would like to use props, you're more than welcome to use a bolster or some blankets for your child's pose, or use nothing. Totally up to you. But feel supported. Maybe it's a blanket underneath the head. Maybe it's a bolster in between the legs. Maybe you're also adding a block if you want a little support. So if you feel like you need a little lift in the front, add that bolster to the top of your mat. Hi, Scotty. Welcome. Lisa Nada. Yeah, it's totally great to add in Reiki during yin. I love it. All right, welcome everybody. All right, 128 of you, right on. Okay, how are we doing? So far, so good. All right, this is like one of the second to the last postures. Child's pose, third eye in between the eyebrows. So good. Again, coming down into the shape, kind of like we did in our forward folds earlier in our butterfly. Coming into the shape just kind of allows us to quiet the mind and get a little bit softer. So as you're ready, come into your child's pose. If the sitting bones are not supported, if you cannot bring them all the way down to your heels, this is where you would add a blanket to give your body a little lift. Set that blanket behind the calves or on top of the calves, and then you can bring yourself down. So really lovely, very supportive. All right, my friends, we will be here for 3 minutes. So get yourself nice and comfortable into your child's pose, as we will be here for 3 minutes. And maybe the arms go in between if there's some space. Maybe it's underneath the bolster or maybe around. And you can turn your head either way, or maybe you add a little blanket support so the forehead can be on the bolster. I'll cue you halfway through if you want to turn your head the other way. And just allow the sitting bones to sink a little bit more onto your blanket or into your heels. Let the belly expand with your breath. Soften through your eyes. Soften through your face. you want to turn your head the other way, go ahead, slowly exhale, turn your head the other way. Very slowly. Exhale, turn your head back to center if it's not already there. And then inhale, walk your hands back. Come up and out of your child's pose. All right. Coming into a comfortable seat. But before that, if you would like some movement, because we do have a seated posture with some breathing, we'll do a little bit of meditation and then choice to come down into a more traditional shavasana or stay in that meditative seat. So take some movement if you would like some, maybe cats and cows, maybe it's a downward facing dog. But do what you need before we settle into our meditation portion of this practice tonight. How are we doing so far? So good, everybody? All right, I didn't see any more additional comments. Okay, here we go. Crown chakra, last one. Oh my gosh, I didn't talk that last one. I was so quiet. Okay, I'll just go over really quickly. The third eye. I was so into that one. I totally forgot to even give descriptions. That's good, right? I really got into that shape. Okay, Balasana, third eye, feminine energy center. It's our intuition, ajna, wisdom, the brow center, indigo. If it's overactive, we might be acting spaced out, lost, worrying, seen as living in a fantasy world. If it is underactive, we cannot see the bigger picture. Maybe we are easily influenced or confused about our own purpose or doubting ourselves. And if it's a balanced third eye, our intuition, this is one of my favorite energy centers. Your intuitive nature is on point. You're feeling charismatic. Maybe it's easy to meditate. You know your purpose and you might be seen as wise. And the mantra would be, I see. All right, now for this one that we're in, our comfortable meditation seat. Now, if Sukhasana easy pose is not right for you and you want to sit in Virasana, you want to sit on a block or some blankets in a different way, feel free. But find yourself sitting up nice and tall. This is the crown. The color is violet. If it's overactive, and this is not masculine or feminine, but it's the spiritual connection. So it's the universal consciousness and spirituality, right? Okay. If it's overactive, we might be seen as addicted to spirituality, craving attention, needing to be popular, or an over-erotic imagination. If it's underactive, an underactive crown chakra, we might be feeling misunderstood. We can't have fun. Maybe we're unaware or maybe even denying our own spiritual connection. And if it's balanced, we are feeling joy, connected to the source, your higher power. While you're aware of your own individuality, you are wise and compassionate. And then our mantra would be, I understand. All right, so Nadi Shodhana, that is our alternate nostril breathing. We are going to start on the left side. because that is the yin energy side. So the soft, the feminine side, the moon, fall, winter, everything else that is opposite of the masculine, the yang, the active, the sun, summer, spring. We are more calming. The other one is a little more energy, has a little more energy into it. Okay, friends. So left hand is resting. We're using our right hand. The pointer finger and middle finger, maybe it makes a little bit of a claw. Maybe you rest them on your forehead, or maybe they curl in. We'll be using the thumb and the ring finger and pinky finger to close off the nostrils. So let's just take a couple cleansing breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling. Inhaling again, clearing everything out. Now, if this is not possible for you to do physically, I want you to imagine yourself closing the nostril, breathing in through one side, and then closing that side, exhaling through the opposite, and then inhaling again. So it goes inhale one side, exhale the other side. You stay on that side, inhale, and then exhale the other. Inhale that same side, exhale the other. So you're never taking an inhale and an exhale on the same side. It's inhale one side, exhale the other side, and then you start the in-breath on that side and exhale the other side. And then you just start over again, right? Okay. Nadi Shodhana. So when you're ready, take an inhale, exhale, release. Cover your right nostril, inhale through your left. Cover your left nostril, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Cover the right, exhale left. Cover the left, inhale, inhale left. Cover the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Keep going. Inhale left. Exhale right. Keep going. Take 2 more rounds and make sure you are exhaling the final round on your left nostril. When you are finished, allow both of your hands to rest on the tops of your knees. And then just begin to breathe in and out through both sides of your nose. Notice the breath. Does it feel easier to breathe in and out through both sides? Or did it not make a difference? All right, my friends. We are literally at the 1 hour mark. If you would like to come down into a traditional Shavasana, feel free. We are going to end practice here with that. So if you want to come down and do your own Shavasana on your own time, go for it. How are we feeling? Everybody's good? Okay, we haven't closed practice yet. I just want to pop over really fast. All right, beautiful. 152 of you all here tonight. Beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you got what you needed out of it. Remember, your donations are always greatly appreciated and accepted for this practice. I do this 4 times a year. Made out better than you thought you would. Love it. Susan, thank you. Yeah, it made a difference. I love it. Alternate nostril breathing is so helpful. And again, if anybody had a difficult time or a challenging time with the hand movements, it's okay. Feel free to look it up on YouTube. There's a million different ones out there. Maybe I should do one. I don't know. Maybe add it. I will. Maybe. I don't know. I have so many ideas for videos. All right, friends. So let's go ahead and close our practice. Hopefully you got some good information tonight about yourself, about how you're feeling and where you are and how you're starting off this spring season wherever you are. Again, it's just a nice way to check in. Am I feeling balanced? Where am I feeling good? Where can I use some work? How have I been behaving? These are all just good little information for ourselves, just to kind of like self-pace, self-correct, self-inquiry, self-reflect. It's all good stuff. Love all those hearts coming through. All right, friends, let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. On your inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up for this practice, practicing some self-care, doing what's best for you, taking care of you. So next week I will be traveling. I'll be in Los Angeles next weekend, so no practice, but there will be practice in April. Just look for it on the calendar on Insight Timer. And then don't forget, May, every Saturday, from 10 to 10:45 my time here in Las Vegas. That's Pacific time. I'll be hosting, again, my trauma-sensitive yoga practice for sexual abuse survivors. So if you didn't join me for that first round back in September, I'm doing it again. It's a 5-week series. They all kind of build on each other. It's a very special practice. I'm so happy to be offering it here on Insight Timer. I have a very special place in my heart for sexual abuse survivors, as I am one myself. So I offer this practice as a way to heal, to take ownership of your body. This is more inclined for women, but men are absolutely welcome to join. I am coming from a female perspective because this is the life I live. I'm a woman. I've been a woman for this long, right? My whole life. This is the only perspective I know that I am an expert in. So I just share a little bit. I don't share about my experience, but I share the sentiment of wanting to help people to heal themselves, because I do believe we are all self-healers and we all need to find the right tools for ourselves to heal and to grow, so we are not going around hurting people, right? Because hurt people, and we don't want to hurt people that we love. We need to make sure we are starting that journey of self-healing right now, okay? No matter where you are. And that journey, my friends, is never finished, as I'm coming to find out. It's just ongoing, right? Ongoing. Okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Drink your water, and I will see you in April for our practice. Yin yoga for sure. Do you have the chakra balance on the YouTubes? Yes, I do, Miss Heather. I do. I have that one from the winter, and then I'll be adding this one too since I recorded it. It'll be up there sometime tomorrow or maybe Sunday. Yeah, because I think I'm going to go to the lake tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, friends, I'm headed to the Danzig concert at the Virgin Hotel. I will see you guys next time, and take care, and don't forget to drink your water. Bye.